It's full Arec. Full Arec, NFC least, go.
It's not a fresh take that the NFC East is terrible this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it does bear repeating anytime you have a platform to talk about how truly bad this whole whole division is. Top to bottom, position to position, it's a bad division. And for so many years, we hear about how the NFC East beats on each other, and that's why they have a hard time in the playoffs. Maybe it's a consistent pattern of bad ownership, a little bit of bad luck, and trusting your gut a little too much in the NFC East. We have the trash bag of all trash bags Washington team as an organization trash.
Trash organization.
Even though secretly that might be the best team on the field in that division.
Just maybe.
But that's what's fun too, because they're all as equally terrible, so it's really hard to pick who's the best or worst in that division.
Right.
But a trash bag organization through and through. Philadelphia, a trash bag city full of trash bag people who boo Santa Claus and think it's funny when people get injured.
And they punch horses in the face.
They're just the worst kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just the worst. Giants fans who only love them every few years when they're in a high playoff run,
mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, is loyal as the coast teams or coast are to their teams. It ain't the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys, with the most destructive and toxic owner maybe in the league, who's made bad decision after bad decision. Just because you were born on third base does not mean you hit a triple, Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to run a team. You don't know football.
He knows oil. He knows oil.
And that allowed you to pay people that understood that getting Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin was a good idea.
Jimmy Johnson.
And then you decided that you knew better. And you knew what to do. And you were going to be GM, owner, semi-coach. And what's that got you? A constant pit of despair.
No NFC Championship game appearances since 1995, Jerry.
And what was it, 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 years ago with that line? And
2016 was the year, and they lost to Green Bay.
Unbelievable line. And that's the only time. This division is next level bad.
Mm-hmm.
Next level terrible to watch.
Let me go one step further with you, and there is a scenario that a lot of the pundits, a lot of the online subscription-based services have laid out.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles could potentially win this division and host a playoff game with a 4-11-1 record. Honestly, I would be totally okay if Goodell just came in and just goes, no. Like, legitimately, if they just 4-11-12. That's why I had this thought. Hear me out on this.
Okay.
I think being the top wild card team in the NFC is a better draw to get out of the first round than winning the division. Like I would rather
100%.
I would rather maybe get the 5 seed in this year's than get the 2 seed.
100%.
Like it's just one of those situations where, man, you might shake out good where you play Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington, or New York in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd get potentially to go play that 1 seed who didn't play the week before. I like that better than playing. Does that make sense?
Especially in a year where we don't, the playoff home games aren't going to mean nearly as much, a little bit, but not anything to speak of.
2 seed
I agree.
Could potentially this year be worse than the 5 seed.
I don't think it's a potential.
Yeah.
I think it just is.
So maybe that's why the Bucks just aren't trying to win games.
Good. They're probably that next level.
They could play Philadelphia week 1, and then realistically could go back and play New Orleans in that second round of the playoffs. So
something to think about. The last thing with that division is that no matter how many they're at 12 wins now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're at 12 wins as a division now. 8 of the wins at the end of the year are going to come within division.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind when you're doing the math at the end of the year how we're not talking about how truly, really, really bad